You're such an asshole.
Good morning, children. Old Cappy. Going to try not cursing on this one, just waking up. And Davon writes, too early in the morning for this. Cappy, I bought the book a number right here, by the way. I like requests that promote my own book. Whatever questions you have about any of my books, you may send them in. Actually, it's an interesting question. And enjoyed it very much, but you cleverly avoided answering the question, is the pursuit of women worth it? I just submitted data. I just pointed out some things. And now you want me to judge. You want me to rule. You did a fantastic job assessing the risk of pursuing women. And in the last chapter, you gave men some hope by outlining which variables men could focus on to greatly improve the chances with the girl, sir. But you yourself never conclude. He's pointing at me. You yourself, damn it, I object. You, sir, were you not guilty? But you yourself never concluded one way or the other whether it was worth it. So what is it, David? Like, oh, okay, can't let me rest. Here's the problem, and I don't mean to give you a squirmy answer. It really depends. You got to find the right girl. And I know that is such a boring, beige, tapioca answer, but there's like 3.5 billion women in the world. I don't know who you're going to run into. And what is pursuit? So I can say conclusively, in all cases, the pursuit of women are not worth it because they're not a lot, but out of the 300 plus girls I dated, there were 3 that were marriage material. Although as I've gotten older, I kind of look back like maybe 2.5, because sometimes they're out there. Now, the question then is, are you talking about pursuing girls in general? Or are you talking about pursuing those specific ones that meet your qualifications and standards? And so the practical bit of advice, or to answer your question, is having, I guess, a 2-prong or 2-layer strategy. If you want me to answer yes or no, is the pursuit of women worth it? Generally speaking, Western women, no. Not the way it's classically been done. Not the way, give me a second, I need more coffee. Not the way you're programmed to do it, especially now in the backdrop of social media, online dating, whatever else, watch Fresh and Fit podcast. The way men have traditionally done it, I would say it's not worth it. It's obsolete. It doesn't work. Also, I would argue the quality and caliber of women, not in terms of morality or ethics even necessarily, but in terms of like marriage material, which is what I define in the book as being happily married. That's success. Other people would have a different opinion, spinning plates or whatever. But using that as one of the premises that it's being happily married, you want to find a woman and maybe have kids or not, but just be happily married. The quality of women, just marriageable women, just simply aren't there. And by their own admission, in fact, you go watch polling or read polling data, it depends on age and all this. Women have migrated from, I want to be a wife wife and mother, to I don't need no man. And you can see that reflected in priorities polling, where they're mostly focusing on their career and education, their finances, finding meaning in life, who knows whatever. But marriage, and let alone kids, is further down there. And then you could say some of the, not the quantitative factors, something is cryptic and what's the word I'm looking for? Mathematical is polling, but the qualitative factors. I mean, there's some selection bias in it there, but I just saw some gal on Twitter, I think it was, where women don't owe you anything. Look up the hashtag InfoSec bikini. That's a nightmare. That's funny. That's a circus. There's a book, one of the best-selling books out there is Women Don't Owe You Pretty. And you got to say, okay, is this the radical feminist group of women? But then you look at the reviews and the volume of reviews and its ranking. That's one of the most popular. Go look it up. Women Don't Owe You Pretty. That's one of the most popular books out there. And so, as I've said before, women have been conditioned to not only reprioritize it, where marriage, happily married, let alone being a supporting wife, is way down at the bottom. Qualitatively, when it comes to personality, they're adversarial. How many times I've said that? And I think they're not. You could say some are weaponized, but that's unfair. Most women, I don't think deep down in their heart of hearts, hate men. They certainly don't want to get married or have kids as much as they used to. But there is not this, like forming Voltron, okay? Because they try and fight whatever Hagar or the evil prince would whip up, the 8,000th monster. And the lions individually would try to take down the monster. And they're like, oh man, we're getting our asses kicked. We need to form Voltron, okay? And then they, as a team, they form Voltron. And they'd end up saving the day. Men and women, you got to form Marriage-tron or stable nuclear family-tron, okay? But a premise, a prerequisite of that is that you'd want to work together as a team. And if you're younger, you guys all should go watch Voltron. It's a pretty good show. And the new one's good too, relatively new one. But it was teamwork. They wanted to help each other out. Now it is definitely team man, even though men didn't know they were also forced on a team, and now we're going to have fight, essentially. And fight is too strong, but we're definitely competing. We are not working together. And most of the conditioning, indoctrination, brainwashing, programming, information, just in general, has been, you got to go compete against those guys. And that's the best part. And then about the other half is they're the enemy. They're oppressing you. Institutional sex, all this other stuff. And when you get that, when you're a young lady, young girl, all the way up to graduate in college, you're not mentally conditioned or programmed. I'd even say by no fault of your own to be marriage material. So with that backdrop, that environment as a general policy, hell no. It is not worth your time, money, effort, and resources to pursue women. However, and again, I'm not trying to squirm out here. That is kind of one of the main points of the book, is doing it traditionally. And with technology and online dating and all that, the courtship ritual, the rules of the courtship ritual have changed. And you could have said this anyway, the pursuit of women is not worth it in traditional capacities, as you traditionally would pursue women. Now it's like, okay, if we were to change tactics, is the pursuit of women worth it in 2021 with online, go fresh and fit, learn about Instagram, game, and da. So with the backdrop that most girls are not interested in getting married and being a wife. And that's the key thing. Being a wife and being a mother. Most girls want to get married. Most girls want to have kids. Very few want to be a supporting wife and be a present mother. And by present, I mean stay at home. You raise your kids until they're off to school, and then you go pursue a career or a degree like that. But I'm libertarian. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So with that backdrop, no. Now you got to find the unicorn. Now you got to find that 1 in 100 or 0.8 in 100 that I found, that were sweet and kind and just doted on you. And you're in hindsight, like, why'd I pass up on that one? I thought I could do better. Let alone if you want to have kids, you have a gal that's traditional enough, because that just complicates. I almost wouldn't even include whether or not you're going to have a family with children. All right. Because that's a whole other thing. Like, are you going to stay home, or are you going to work? And someone's staying home and raising those kids. We didn't bring these sentient little children, these beings, these intellects that could suffer pain and misery if we just outsource them today. Someone's going to stay home. Are you going to make the money and I stay home? I know a couple guys like that. They're house husbands. Tony, you find a nice gal who's going to be a doting wife and a supporting wife and stay thin and support you and sexually take care of you. I'm not even talking like make food or just be a nice supporting woman. All right. That's 1 in 100. Now you want someone that's going to like raise kids or be amicable to, well, we'll do with less. And you take care of the kids. I got my, lawyer career or whatever going. I mean, now you're talking winning the lottery. So let's remove that. Assuming there are those unicorns out there and you would like to pursue them, the strategy is now, and Rich Cooper's book, Unplug Alpha, really highlights this. And read that. I mean, get this book first, obviously. This is way better, way more important than Rich Cooper's book. Yeah, he's Canadian, jeez. But his philosophy, among others, but one of his main philosophies, pursue excellence, not women. And I'm not ruining anything. That's the last chapter of the book, although using the numbers, the analysis of the statistics, I focus in on like 5 key variables. And I show you mathematically how it can exponentially increase your chances with women so that it's back into the realm of reality. But setting that aside, the pursuit of women is no longer about wooing or courting or anything like that. It's about, unfortunately, and I wouldn't say selfishly, but you got nothing else to do, focusing on yourself, improving yourself as an individual. And then it's hope, it's statistics, it's luck. That's what I would say. And so the pursuit of women in today's modern version of how, if you can pursue women at all, the modern day pursuit is you don't pursue them, you excel and improve yourself. You chase excellence, not women. And then maybe, but you're not chasing, if you understand what I'm saying. The pursuit of women today in 2021 is self-improvement, pursuing excellence, achieving goals, making your life count, giving yourself agency, focusing on yourself, not because of greedy reasons, because like you're all up in yourself, but because, well, one, you're going to die. That would be the main thing. You're all going to die. And you can all sit at home and play video games. You can all sit on your Andrew Yang, Biden bucks, neat lifestyle stimmy checks, but you're going to waste your life. So for that sake alone, which has nothing to do with women's, that's the pursuit of women, is to go and improve yourself and make your life count. And then through various ways, you will demonstrate value, consciously or not. It could be, you got your finances together. You own a home. Like I'll give you another example. Okay. Old Cappy. Back when I was 24, I think 24, I bought my first house. I was the first person my generation age to buy a house, and it was a duplex. And girls noticed the difference. Now, it wasn't a fancy duplex. I lived in the basement. I turned it into a triplex, but I had a nice basement. I renovated it and everything. Girls were like, "You own this place?" Yeah. Now, maybe they didn't understand the intricacies of rental property management. They don't know what a Schedule E looks like, but they knew he owns this place. He lives in the basement. He rents the 2 upstairs units. That at least statistically set me apart from the rest of the herd who were like living in, renting a room, whatever else. And it did help me with later on. Another thing is ballroom dancing, right? Now, is that making 6 figures? No, it's not making 6 figures, but it's different. Something every guy can do: lift weights, get in good physical shape. I mean, my gosh, now, and obviously this only focuses on women between 18 and 35, because that's all men are really interested in terms of marriage. And after 35, I'm sure there's romance and all that, but also my audience is younger. But especially for you younger guys, if you can run a mile, you're already in the top like 30% of men your age. And if you diet and you're in exercise, watch Jack Napier, he'll tell you all about exercise. You again statistically set yourself aside, and girls can physically see that. Actually, when they dance, well, if you dance and you're in shape, they can. Oh, they're putting their hands on your arm. Oh, that's hard. That's not squishy like the software engineer down there who had mom and dad pay for everything. And as you are pursuing these things, as you are making your life count, you are incidentally also pursuing the girlsa, but not at an expense. Not at an expense of, like in the olden days, you go to a nightclub. I remember going to nightclubs so long ago, there's smoking allowed. Come out, smell like a chimney. If you're too hungover, you wouldn't take off your clothes. You wake up, you got that cigarette smell like, ah. That's way back in the day. But it was a waste of time. Now there is benefits. Now there is dividends. There's fruits to your labor. You have a better life. You didn't waste 3 hours at a nightclub and didn't come home with any numbers that were real anyway. This is back in the day when we exchanged numbers. You went to the gym, you had some gains. And now it's kind of be careful what you wish for. And we've seen some of this happening already. Men, you go out, you improve yourself to the best that you possibly can, or what your budget of time allows, especially if you're poor, you're coming from a disadvantaged background. So there is that. But then it's basically, here you go, ladies. Now let me know if you're interested. And women have wanted equality, and they want okay, you want equal? Now it's equal. And what you'll notice is a lot of guys are not asking girls out. They're just not. And there's many reasons for that. I mean, a lot of it's the internet where like swiping right. Yeah, swiping right is now how you ask a girl out. But men just do that so automatically. There's no vested interest. And it's actually an interesting psychologist in that book about the difference of psychology. When the olden days, 15 years ago, you had to go walk up to a girl and ask her out. You had to give her the proposition, would you like to go out with me? And maybe that proposition was not, very polished or delivered well, but you had to go run that gamut. Now it's swiping right. Now this is where Fresh and Fit have done some amazing work. It's your photographs. Are they well done? All these aesthetics. Where was I going with that? So now, as opposed to then where you made it very clear what your intentions were and you approached, and there was a risk involved, and you had to build courage and you had to build resiliency to rejection, which is also the forging process of a man. Now you just like, yeah, here I am, girls. Let me know if you like me, and swipe right. Hey, what's going on? And you get the one word, hey, okay, fine. And now women, it's coming to the point, you girls are going to have to ask the guys out. I mean, even like Bumble is based on that premise, which I would say is more anchored in the modern day realities of the pursuit of women. The women have to contact you. And by golly, here comes well-endowed Molly. You girls are going to get equality whether you like it or not. And I've even had a couple female clients. God, I had a spate of them a couple months ago. We're like, well, and this and that, and they're good-looking gals. I'm like, oh, there's a guy you like? Yeah. And I think one was at the gym. And well, I kind of work out next to him. And I'm like, how long has this been going on? 3 months? How about you ask him out? Oh, equality. Oh, no. Well, too bad. That's what it is. And even Joker, who's somewhere floating around out here out west, he was noticing at the gym how the men are just working out, and he observes as a anthropologist, I guess would be the capacity. Girls would go kind of work out next to the guys that they wanted, and he sees it because he's out of the game. He's a referee. He's there with his black and white stripes, and he's just kind of watching. And all the guys that they're in their zone, they're just working out, and they're just they don't even notice that the girls are there. And so what it is, the modern day reality of pursuing women in 2021 and probably going forward, is the best way to pursue women is let me break apart the two markets. Guys who stay at home, live at home, don't work out, play video games, get fat, do nothing with their lives, vote Democrat, live off of government needs, demand student loan back. In other words, just not being men. Okay. Government take care of me. Parents take care of me. You're not a real man. I mean, if everybody else is taking care of you, you certainly can't take care of a family, right? They're not even in this game. Okay. But the men who lift weights, work out, go forth. All right. The new dating strategy is that you do the best you can. You present yourself, and then the girls are going to have to borderline ask the guys out now, or make it very clear that this is they have an interest in that guy, and that's it. That's kind of it. So you guys, you can now of course, guys are going to have to ask girls out because girls are never going to step up to that plate. Oh, who's calling me now? Oh, hang on. All right, I'm going to have to answer that later. Make this quick. Maybe we'll have Miss Super Chats. I'll do a Miss Super Chats later because that's important. But that's my larger. That is the modern day pursuing women. All right, you do your best. You put yourself out there on a dating site or whatever. A girl, hopefully of quality, will come along and express interest in you. And then maybe you get the girls. But to answer your question succinctly and shortly, is it worth pursuing women? Not in the traditional sense. In the modern sense, yes. If you find the right gal, yes, it's wonderful. The right gal make you happy, and you can't find happy. Okay, maybe I'm not too red pill in that area. But point is, if you find the right wife, you find the right gal, and it's worth it. But it's such a hands-off pursuit. It's really just focusing on self-improvement. And then, I'll throw the dice out. Hopefully it comes up, 7. Hopefully I win. Hopefully I get the number I want. But it is very much out of your control. Very much out of your control because you're essentially throwing yourself out there, I wouldn't say at the mercy of women, but at the decision of women. And then you got to find one that is classically traditional enough to support. And there's a little bits of tactics and things and stuff you could try there. But not a lot. And so after you've done your thing, you swipe right for the day, or you approach that girl in a very Troy Francis manner at the grocery store. That's it, man. Go back home, hang out with your buds, focus on your finances, or what is it? Modern life, John, modern life dating. Muscle gains, money gains, and forget the other one. Go enjoy your life. Hopefully there's some girls that will see the path you're going on. Hopefully they'll want to come, and hopefully they'll make it known. Hopefully you ask one out, and hopefully she's not a bipolar psychopath. And then maybe you get married. Maybe. And then if you want to look at the statistical chances of having a happy marriage, read this book. But yeah, so I'm saying it's like playing the lottery. Give up hope, and for your own sake, live your life, and then maybe you get lucky. And that's the modern day pursuit of women. So, all right. Do we have a lot? Yeah, we got some. All right, everyone tuning in. I'm going to do a Miss Super Chats later on today. Okay. Or maybe tomorrow, because I got to go pick up Elkins at the airport and I got to call somebody else. So I apologize for not getting these super chats. We'll get to those later on. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. And anyway, but if you're interested, guys, get this, the Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI of the Pursuit of Women. The link is down below. Thank you, Devon, for, if you guys want to ask questions about my books, you guys can do that anytime. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. Toodles.